Hi everyone, my name's Dan. I'm the online safety officer that works in Lincolnshire. A lot of my job is having some really interesting and uncomfortable conversations, and I'm really sorry, but this video is going to include one of those. Now, before I say anything more, the subject, as you can probably tell, we are going to be talking about naked image sharing. Now, before anybody gets weird or freaks out, I'm not here to scare or frighten anybody, but I don't know who's watching this right now. So if any of this stuff that I'm going to talk about, if it has impacted on you, if you feel a little bit weird or uncomfortable and you just need to step outside the classroom, that's not a problem at all. But please remember, there are places you can go and people you can talk to, okay? Now, the reason I'm here doing this video is because sexting, which is like the adult term, it's a bit boring, doesn't really make sense. Nude image sharing is a massive problem. It causes a lot of problems within relationships, when you're in one or when you come out of one. It causes a lot of problems within friendship groups, within year groups. It's a massive issue. And actually, interestingly, I spent the last few years with my colleague going around Lincolnshire asking the question, is sharing naked images like a normal part of a relationship? And most people said, yeah. But they couldn't tell me why. They couldn't tell me how it benefits the relationship. So I think it's really important that we just kind of think about that for a minute. Before we send an image, that just ask the question, why does somebody want it? How does it benefit the relationship? What's kind of the drawbacks to it? Now, I'm pretty sure that over your last few years at school, your adults, whether they're in school or out of school, I've probably had a conversation with you about, sexting, don't do it, it's against law, and I just want to give like a different angle. Okay. What I want you to remember is just a handful of things. Number one, once you send a picture, I can't tell you what's going to happen to it. I can't tell you how long it's going to be around. I can't tell you where it'll go. I can't tell you if it's going to benefit a relationship, if it's going to hinder it. I don't know. And I want you just to keep that in the back of your mind. Once you've sent that image to somebody, whether you love them, whether you care about them, whether you think you can trust them, once they have that image, it is their choice what happens next, whether that's next week, next year, next decade, whatever. So once you've sent an image, they always have it. And actually, if it's not something you'd be happy for everybody to see, then maybe that's not the kind of thing that we need to be sharing. It's also important to remember that every app you use has rules around naked images and nudity, even for adults, which I know is probably not something you want to think about. But even Snapchat, when you send a picture, it does go onto Snapchat's computer. They do have access to it. It's in the terms and conditions. That's a bit boring. Give it a read, okay? But I just want you to remember that what we share online is always stored somewhere, and these companies are allowed to access it if they want. They don't pay somebody that just sits there looking, because all it'd be was pictures of food and selfies. But bear that in mind. But the thing that worries me the most is the impact on the person. So when you kind of share an image with somebody, if it goes wrong, the person in the picture is the one that gets all the grief, all the abuse. The person in the picture is the one that feels the impact the most. And a lot of people like to blame that person. Well, you shouldn't have sent it, blah, blah, blah. And we use all different names and derogatory terms. And I don't think that's really fair. Because what we found in 2020 is Internet Matters did some research. And what they found is there's only a handful of reasons why individuals share naked images. And a few of those reasons are because they have been coerced, they've been blackmailed, they've been threatened to do it. A lot of people in this survey said, well, I kind of sent the image because I thought you had to, or I was made to feel that it was a normal part of a relationship. Once again, like I said at the start, nobody can tell me why, okay? So I don't want us to blame the individual in the picture. I want us to blame the person that kind of spreads it round, okay? Because it's okay to make mistakes, but when people forward it on, they're making a choice to significantly harm somebody else. And actually, the law kind of agrees with me on this one. Now, don't freak out because everybody goes, oh, no, I've sent a nude, I'm going to go to jail. That's not what I'm talking about. The law does say you're not allowed, it's against the law to send a naked image of yourself. It's against the law to store a naked image of an under 18. It's against the law to forward on a naked image of an under 18. So I want you to bear that in mind, that if you receive an indecent image of somebody under the age of 18, don't forward it on, because, well, you might get police knocking at your door. But I want the person in the picture to remember that the law is there to protect them. So if somebody does receive your naked image and forward it on, and they're doing it because they want to intimidate or blackmail you, they want, people to get at you, you're not going to get in trouble. The person in the picture is the victim in all of this, right? They're not the perpetrator, they're not the offender, okay? So if somebody does share a naked image of somebody else around school, the police, the law is there to protect them. Okay, so I just want us to think about that. But while I'm sharing this video, there are a lot of people that are going to watch it where this has had a huge impact on them, where that picture has been forwarded, it's been sent to other people, and kind of things have got quite bad, okay? You're not on your own. There are loads of places you can go. There are loads of people that you can talk to in order to make sure that you are safe. We're not going to say, we want you to do that for, right? Because that's not what we're here to do. Staff in school, and as I'm saying this, your member of staff is probably going to start nodding their head. Yeah, you won't be the first student that's gone to a member of staff and said, this has kind of gone wrong. You're not going to be the first student in school that has had an issue with technology, and you're definitely not going to be the first student in school that has had a naked image spread around by somebody else because they wanted to target that person, right? So don't be afraid to talk to staff in school. But if you are a bit worried, if you're a bit concerned, then try Childline. Most people I meet know the number of Childline because they've threatened their adults with it at some point in their life, which, is totally fine, as long as you remember the number. But they're not going to have a go. They're just going to give you some advice, because our main priority is making sure that you're okay, right? But the last thing that I want to mention is just that once that image has left your device, you can feel a bit helpless, like, I want to get it back, but I can't. Well, there is now a service run by Childline and an organisation called the Internet Watch Foundation. It's called Report Remove, okay? And once they've verified your identity, so you can report online, but you can also ring Childline and do it that way. Once they've confirmed your identity, then what they can do is try and safeguard you by getting rid of that picture wherever it appears, okay? There is no 100% effective way, I'm just being honest, but they do a really, really great job. So before I go, let me just say thank you so much for putting up with me for the last 8 minutes or so. Hope you all have a great day. I look forward to seeing you all, but always remember, ladies and gents, no matter what happens, no matter what goes wrong, no matter what mistakes we make, the adults in your life, the services you can access are here to keep you safe. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.